visiting the birthplace of Christ, Bethlehem, Palestine. While visiting Israel, we were fortunate to take a very special side trip across the border into the West Bank to visit Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus Christ. Bethlehem lies just a few miles south of Jerusalem, but it's located in the Palestinian territories, not in Israel proper. Because of this, our Israeli guide could only take us as far as the border. We approached the massive concrete wall that separates Israel from the West Bank and walked through the guarded gate. On the other side, we were warmly welcomed by a Palestinian Christian who became our guide for the day. He drove us through the streets of Bethlehem, a city rich in history and faith, to visit one of the holiest sites in all of Christianity, the Church of the Nativity. This ancient church, located in Manger Square, is traditionally believed to mark the exact location where Jesus was born. Originally built in the 4th century by Emperor Constantine and his mother, Empress Helena, it is one of the oldest continuously operating churches in the world. Before we could enter, we had to bow, literally. The entrance, known as the Door of Humility, is just a few feet high. It was deliberately reduced in size by the Crusaders and later by Muslim rulers to prevent invaders from riding in on horseback. Today, it serves as a symbolic gesture of reverence, forcing every visitor to bow as they enter. To the right of the entrance is a doorway leading to the Armenian monastery. In fact, every section of the church is shared, meticulously divided between the Catholic, Orthodox, and Armenian churches, down to the altars, lanterns, and even the incense burners. Inside the church, we made our way to the right side of the nave, where long lines of pilgrims waited patiently to descend into the grotto of the Nativity. And this is the sacred cave beneath the church, believed to be the actual birthplace of Jesus. Thanks to our local guide, we were able to bypass the line and make our way down. The grotto was filled with visitors, some praying, some singing softly, others simply standing in silence. At its heart lies a small alcove marked by a 14-point silver star embedded in the stone floor. This is known as the Star of Bethlehem, and it's believed to mark the exact spot where Mary gave birth to Jesus. The star is surrounded by ornate lanterns and centuries-old frescoes, giving the space a powerful, almost timeless atmosphere. Just next to the Nativity Grotto is another sacred space, the Manger Grotto, where it is believed that Mary first breastfed the infant Jesus. The moment you step inside these ancient walls, there's a quiet reverence that settles over you. Despite the crowds, there's something profoundly intimate about the space. You're not just seeing a historical site, you're walking through the very place where the Christian story began. For many pilgrims, this is a once in a lifetime journey, and it shows in the emotion on their faces. Some are moved to tears, others fall silent, overwhelmed by the weight of the moment. We felt it too, something hard to explain, but impossible to ignore. Back in the main church, we explored its historic architecture. The massive red and white limestone columns you see in the nave date back to the original Byzantine structure. Through wooden trapdoors in the floor, you can even see some of the original mosaics that once decorated the church centuries ago. Over the years, this holy site has witnessed destruction and rebirth. The original basilica was destroyed during a Samaritan revolt and later rebuilt by Emperor Justinian in the 6th century. During the Crusades, new features were added, including stunning wooden ceilings crafted in England under King Edward IV and ornate silver candelabras donated by Russian czars. And believe it or not, this church was once at the center of a major international conflict. In the 1800s, tensions between Orthodox and Catholic factions over control of the church led to the theft of the Silver Star, an event that contributed to the outbreak of the Crimean War between Russia, France, and the United Kingdom. After leaving the Church of the Nativity, we visited the nearby Shepherd's Field, where, according to tradition, angels appeared to the shepherds to announce the birth of Christ. The chapel there is shaped like a shepherd's tent, and beneath it lies another grotto, offering a quiet space for reflection. As we drove through Bethlehem, we passed small Christian neighborhoods, family owned shops, and quiet side streets. Our guide explained how Palestinian Christians, though a minority, have lived here for generations, keeping the faith alive under often difficult circumstances. It was deeply moving to hear how their community maintains not only their traditions, but also the legacy of being the living descendants of the earliest followers of Christ. Before heading back to Jerusalem, we made one more stop, the Bethlehem Marketplace, which dates back to 1929. It was bustling with life, stalls filled with colorful spices, fresh produce, hand-stitched clothing, and countless souvenirs. Among the most popular items were hand-painted Armenian ceramics and olive wood carvings, many crafted by local Christian artisans. As our visit came to an end, our guide drove us back through the city, returning us to the same gate in the separation wall. On the Israeli side, our original guide was there, waiting to meet us. Crossing the wall again, it struck us how complex this land is, how close together people live, yet how divided things remain. And yet, in Bethlehem, amidst ancient stones and sacred silence, we found something that transcended those divisions, a sense of connection, of peace, of shared humanity. Closing thoughts. Crossing into Bethlehem was not just a border crossing, it was a journey through centuries of faith, tradition, and history, visiting the birthplace of Jesus, seeing the Star of Bethlehem, and walking the ancient streets of this holy city was a deeply moving experience. It's a reminder that even in a land marked by division, the story of hope and peace that began in Bethlehem continues to draw people from around the world.